Okay, Commissioner Gray Eyes, can you hear us? You are on mute. There you go. Now can you hear us?
Ready. I got the...
Okay, perfect. I can hear you and see you.
I can't get Facebook going.
Okay, just a second. We're pulling on Facebook and that, making sure we're live on stream.
Okay.
It won't even pop. Yeah, it won't pop up.
Sorry.
Ready?
Almost. They're about there.
Okay.
We just want to make sure we can broadcast live at the same time.
All right, thanks. Should be good to go.
All right, Commissioner. Looks like we're all ready.
Okay. Proposed agenda is before you, and at this time we'd like to call the meeting to order. At this time, time is, I guess, 10:30?
Yeah, 10:29. Yep.
29, yeah, 10:29. And I'm on Zoom. And at this time, I'd like to go ahead and call for the roll call to determine the quorum. Bruce Adams.
I'm here.
Okay. Kenneth Maryboy.
Yo.
Is that a no or yo?
Yo.
Yo. Okay. And myself, which is the quorum, 3 of us are present. Any public comment? Mr. Madon?
Yeah, so we can open it up to public comments. Just as a reminder, public comments are afforded for 3 minutes apiece. Try not to be duplicative. If you're online, raise your hand and we'll recognize you to give that public comment. We do have a member here in the audience that has signed in. We'll go to him first. So the first public comment will be given by Terry. Terry, if you can just come up and present at the podium,
Just so you can be on the record.
and that way we get you on the record. Just let us know where you're at.
But you
Right here,
in
in
that
this
mic,
microphone.
We're recording it.
Then just state your name for the record and then where you reside within the county.
My name's Terry Nossinger, and I live off 491 in the county. Do you need exact address?
Nope,
Okay.
that's fine right there.
All right. I saw online the other day at the meeting that you were proposing this. I have a couple of concerns. I don't have a problem with doing it, but I don't see anywhere in the resolution that Mr. Maryboy presented or in what the chapter on the Navajo Nation presented that shows that when they get into agreement, is the Navajo Nation willing to compensate the county for the service? How many extra deputies? I don't even know how many deputies we have in the county to patrol. All I know is I very rarely see one where I'm at. And the last major thing that happened out there is when my neighbor's husband died. It took 25 minutes for somebody to even show up. So we're stretched thin everywhere. But I see that it's there, but I don't read anywhere where anybody's going to pay for anything. The cost of all this, or is this still being worked out? I also would like to know if anything that happens on the reservation that involves the county, will we be held liable by the Navajo Nation or whoever and get our butts sued to no end for something that we may not have any concern with? What is, if we have to hire deputies and all, where we don't get them at? They're not cheap anymore. It's just simple stuff. But I hate to see a resolution go through without more thought and what's going into it. The resolution that the chapter made, it says nothing about compensating the county. I mean, us taxpayers, fine, but I don't think we should pay. The city of Monticello's paying the county to have the sheriff's department here. That should be true everywhere in this county if they're asking for it. And right now, I don't see one of the Navajo Nations even asking. They got $1.8 billion. A lot of that was earmarked for essential workers. So why don't they hire their own people and make things a lot easier, and they can control the cost and everything. And as far as doing a contract with them, I don't think it should be for no longer than 1 year at a time, so we can readjust or do whatever we need to do, because it's don't be a work thing one way or the other. But basically that's it. I mean, they need protection. I understand that. Everybody does. But I can't see us, especially the taxpayers, has to pay for something that the Navajo Nation and their little thing they put on their thing, they asserted that it was the Navajo Nation was a sovereignty and their tribal
That's the time
councils.
right there, Terry.
You know, so if that's the case, then they should pay. Just like the city of Monticello's paying, or if I had to pay, or I don't know who pays what in the state.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your time's up, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Terry. All right, that's the only member in the audience that we have. I've got a hand raised by Darlene Pino. She's the chapter vice president at Nasan. Darlene, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Darlene Pino, Nasan Navajo Mountain Chapter Vice President. Thank you for your time, and thank you for the gentleman before me is sharing his concern. We have a similar concern as well. Who's going to pay for all of this? And also, regarding the resolution, we had talked about adding, doing maybe a little bit of adjustment. So we added a few a couple line items under whereas. However, I received a email back this morning responding to that. So I understand that the resolution is trying to cover the San Juan County portion of the Navajo Nation. However, we have experienced this in our area, not just on Navajo Mountain area. That was the reason why we added hope to be looked at least. Have I don't know how much time I have. I want to speak in Navajo quickly. Yeah, I did it. There's no time. Mr. Gray Eyes, the had ordered the Sabi is so gigi had ordered Elia Shin Han Habahoni Zansoye. I wrote the base on our Ragi is the Isaac and the list of Navajo Nation Hashinsago. I don't law enforcement, I which in Naut agent the initiative. Ako nakikilkas anigi akage abayel nihi kanatis anigi uto ibente hasti odes. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Okay, let's see here. Got a hand raised by Maria. Terry?
Hi. Yes. I don't remember what the gentleman's name is, the one that just spoke, the first person to speak about the funding and stuff. Well, usually, like there's different fundings allocated for different projects and stuff like that. I'm sure that could be a discussion with the Navajo Nation budget and stuff like that. But I think because I don't know, I'm not sure how this meeting works, but I think that since we're neighbors, I mean, this guy can wander into any county. And since we're neighbors and we're close together, probably with the Utah and Colorado and all that area, this man can wander into your area too. So I think we have to work together and get our resource together and figure out how to fund this and then, like proceed with it. It's not like it's their problem, it's this problem. We have, you guys, and we have the responsibility to protect these people, the citizen. And I'm sure, like that, since that man maybe, first of all, I think the police needs to identify this person first before they have to deal with this person, because we don't know this man. We don't even know the background yet. So the man has to be identified, and then we know how to deal with this person. So he's got to be picked up, detained, and interviewed and evaluated, because we're just assuming that this man is a veteran. We're just assuming things and stuff, and we're not really dealing directly with the issue. So, and the more we wait, somebody's going to get hurt, or it's getting cold. So, it's going to be a problem for him too. So that is my concern. So I don't know who has the point of contact for budgeting and stuff like that. So I know that the Navajo Nation probably can come up with funding or resources, or request funding to, like for a special project to bring the money to where we can, we can use it. So, if I had to write to the people in finance, I can do that too. I have a financial background, so yeah.
That's time's up right there. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, the next one we have on here, all I have is speeches on here. Just please announce your name and where you live within the county.
Good morning. My name is Shirley Peaches. Good morning, honorable commissioners. I live on the Navajo side of the county. The point I'd like to make is that we all are counted in with the Utah San Juan County. With us being counted in, there are monies allocated for all of us to be equally covered. And tax monies are put in to San Juan County by us. But a lot of times we're not equally covered back, given back with the services. And I think this is where it is when Ms. Pino drafted the legislation, or whoever drafted it, we need equal coverage. And if we're going to be counted in with San Juan County, all the Navajo members are counted in with San Juan County, we should also be covered as well when it comes to law enforcement. And so that's the point I want to make, because like Ms. Terry said, we don't know where this person's going to end up next. And if it were your neighborhood, someone coming into your area, breaking in, you would want someone to come help you. So I'd like to thank you all for holding this special board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm not seeing any other hands raised on the system. If there's anybody else wishing to make a public comment for 3 minutes, go ahead and unmute yourself if you have not already made a public comment. I'm not seeing or hearing anybody else. Commissioner Gray Eyes, it's back to you.
Thank you. Thank you for all the public comments made in reference to our agenda item. I think mainly we're talking about incidents that are taking place on the Navajo Nation of San Juan County, Utah. So with that, we'll go ahead and read the proposed agenda, Mr. Madam.
Okay, on our agenda, the only thing that we have today is the business action item, which is item number 1. Whoops, hold on. It's consideration and approval of a resolution supporting equal and adequate law enforcement for residents of San Juan County. That's your only item for today. After that, it's an adjournment.
Okay. As I understand, this particular resolution will open the door to negotiation. The negotiation will detail as where the funds will come from, if there's any, how much, and some of those questions that has been asked will be addressed during the negotiation between the San Juan County Sheriff's Department and also the Navajo Nation Public Safety Office, Department of Navajo Police. So at that time, this is just a key to open the doors to negotiation. Any incident that is happening, that has happened, will be or will happen in the future, uh, will be contingent upon those agreements. So with that understanding, hopefully that we can go ahead and approve the resolution at this time. But I am also heard that some recommendation or an amendment to the resolution has been served. So with that, what are some of the alternatives or verbiage that has been offered? If Mr. McDonald has those in his possession, I would like to hear those options.
I didn't. Let me see if I have. I didn't receive the email, and it was alluded to in the public comments by the vice president of the Not Son chapter. The email came in, and it was specifically to Not Son. So the two whereases that she had recommended were specific to Not Son. And if you remember, the original request for this came out of Aneth chapter. So what we had did is, and Commissioner Maryboy presented a resolution that covers all of the chapters. So we didn't want to get into each specific chapter needs for policing services, because each chapter has different needs, but all encompassing the main request is for better police services throughout all of the chapters of San Juan County. And so when we received that, it came in after hours last night, and like anything, we have to have that information or any requested changes 24 hours in advance of setting up the agenda. And so it was nothing that we could really accept. But the email that went back from Anne Marie was really, it's this resolution that we have before us today covers all of the chapters and isn't a chapter specific resolution. Hopefully, as we go through and we negotiate with the Navajo Nation, and the reason that Commissioner Maryboy liked this resolution over the other one that was previously presented is this one includes both sides of Highway 191. It includes both policing districts, so it's more encompassing than what our last resolution had considered in there. And so hopefully that kind of explains a little of why you see this resolution before you today.
Okay, thank you. There's no further discussion. Maybe go ahead and read the resolution. Mr. Medell.
Okay, so the resolution is supporting equal and adequate law enforcement for residents of San Juan County, whereas San Juan County Board of Commissioners may pass ordinances, rules, and regulations as necessary and proper to provide for the safety and preserve the health, promote the prosperity, improve the morals, peace and good order, comfort and convenience of the county and its inhabitants pursuant to Utah Code 17-53-223, whereas San Juan County Sheriff Department duties include preserving the peace and making lawful arrests pursuant to Utah Code 17-22-2, whereas San Juan County Sheriff Department has had previous agreements with the Navajo Nation and or Navajo Nation Division of Public Safety to provide law enforcement services to San Juan County residents who reside within the Utah portion of the Navajo Nation, whereas these previous agreements between the San Juan County Sheriff's Department and the Navajo Nation Division of Public Safety has expired, Whereas San Juan County Commission is committed to providing for the safety, health, and public welfare of all county residents and is aware the need continues to exist for law enforcement and peacekeeping by San Juan County Sheriff's Department in coordination with the Navajo Nation Division of Public Safety to adequately protect the health and safety of those San Juan County residents residing within the Utah portion of the Navajo Nation. Now, therefore, be it resolved, Section 1, the county administrator, in consultation with the county sheriff, is directed to immediately negotiate a contract between the Navajo Nation Division of Public Safety and San Juan so that San Juan County Sheriff's Department officers will be able to provide law enforcement and peacekeeping measures to San Juan County residents that reside within the Utah portion of the Navajo Nation. Section 2, the county attorney is directed to assist the county administrator in developing an appropriate contract between the Navajo Nation Division of Public Safety and San Juan County, consistent with the intent of this resolution. The contract shall be presented to the Commission for its review, amendment, and approval before it is executed by the parties to the contract, and passed, adopted, and approved by the Board of San Juan County Commissioners this day, 2021. That, Commissioners, is the resolution.
Motion, Mr. Chair.
Motion is made by Mr. Commissioner Maryboy,
Second.
second by Mr. Bruce Adams. Discussion?
Comment.
There was a question, I guess that would be in the contract. Or under negotiation.
Correct.
Mr. Chair.
One our incident that supposedly take place in Annis, in this case, who would be the lead agent? That would be my question. Since right now, if the negotiation is come to conclusion that Navajo Nation is the lead agency to address incidents that are happening on the Navajo Nation within the San Juan County, that will leave the Sheriff's Department to wait upon the Navajo Nation Public Safety to address and request for assistance from Sheriff's Department or San Juan County Sheriff. So in this case, this is what happened. But I don't know who's going to be the lead agency, or is it going to be an equal consideration of whoever gets to the notice of an incident, then they can address it. That would be, is it going to be included in the negotiation or not? Do we have a legal?
We do have legal, and we also have Sheriff Torgensen on.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair.
As well.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The resolution that's before you, this is a revised, amended motion to consider this. It's not Kenneth Maryboy's resolution. It's a resolution that was presented by Untitled Chapter and the community there. And yet it's an ongoing situation that the lack of law enforcement in San Juan County, Utah on the Navajo side. So the resolution was passed by the community and the chapter, and it states the needs and the negotiation part. But the Navajo Nation Department of Public Safety has a different line of how they proceed. If we pass a resolution that they had, it will not recognize the community, and from Natchitoches all the way down to the to Highway 191. The public safety from the chief itself has a guideline with 191 on the east side only represents and also acknowledges the northern agency, but on the west side of 191 acknowledges Kayenta all the way down to Shantou and Tuba City and all that area. So there is a line there that needs to be acknowledged, and that's the reason why when we spoke of this particular resolutions, I made some modifications to have this to be looked at. So this particular resolution is a step in a doorway. So now, after this is done, the administrator, our attorney Kendall Laws, and also Sheriff Torgerson will draft a contract. And the concern about who's paying, of course, the Navajo Nation is going to have to put some money into this. So all of that will be drafted through the contract. And with that, I think that will allow the our county sheriffs to be more visible and to do what they need to do on the reservation. And of course, it still needs to go back to the Attorney General of the Navajo Nation site because of the sovereign immunity issue. But again, the resolution will state and highlight where and what it needs, so that way a doorway for us and the contract will be drafted immediately with the administrator and the sheriff and the attorney of where the costs are going to be needed and where the shortfall is going to be. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any further question by the commission members? If not, call for the question.
Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye also. Nay, opposing? There being none, so resolution passed, 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Thank you. And Mr. Downs.
Yeah.
Go ahead and use my signature.
Okay. We will get it done. Thank you for that.
With that, do I hear any other motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion is to adjourn by Mr. Kenneth Fairboy,
Second.
second by Mr. Adams. Any long discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed by nay. Motion passed, 3 in favor, 0 opposed. We stand adjourned at this time. It's 11 o'clock. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, commissioners.
And also the people that made comments. Your comments will be included in the negotiation. So be sure that you didn't speak to just open air. So thank you very much.
Thank you, commissioners. Have a good weekend.
Yes.